Striking. Lake Malawi, a cloud on earth. There is so much pleasure that people derive from this beautiful freshwater body stretching 600 kilometers. The lake is a source of a living for hundreds of thousands of people engaged in fishing. There is so much economic gain for local people besides being a foreign exchange earner. Striking as the lake is, economic viable as it is, the lake is not without its problems. Overfishing, bilharzia, environmental damage, and HIV/AIDS are some of the major challenges that threaten to bring users of the lake to their knees and the lake itself disuse. Overfishing is increasingly threatening the existence of the over 1,000 fish species, the largest such number of species found in one fresh body of water the world over. But fishermen like him have absolutely no concern about the problem as long as they fish and fish until they catch the last fish. There are hundreds of thousands of fishermen doing exactly what these 4 fishermen here at Cape Maclear are doing. There are worse cases where some even use prohibited fishing nets, which wipe out young fish. That way, you have no regeneration of fish species. Some of them are only found here in Malawi more than anywhere else on the planet. Fishing on Lake Malawi is not for grown-ups alone. Even school-going children like this 12-year-old rejoices in the business.
Tikapanda kuchita husozi ineyo sindija ya chakujaja tutimachokela muhusozi tikapanda kupanda husozi ifeyo sitija tiwakuteka wala mulasala kuti hasapuzise sala amene wako za kuti vela ifeyo.
He ably balances up school and fishing. However, according to him, his progress reports are not good. And that too speaks volumes of what to expect from children growing up in this environment. And they are in hundreds. Fisheries Research Coordinator Dr. Moses Banda says Malawi's pride in Jambo is threatened by overfishing. He says efforts were being made to ensure that Jambo does not come to anything closer to extinction.
It's not only because it's true there is some overfishing, especially localized overfishing in the inshore waters. In particular, our famous Jambo is overexploited. When I say in inshore waters, I'm really talking about the waters about 30 meters deep. Indeed, there is some overfishing, localized overfishing, and the species which is even overexploited is the Jambo. But for other species, there isn't this so-called overfishing.
He, however, assures that Lake Malawi will remain one of the greatest hosts to many species of fish for many years to come, as government programs are working towards ensuring that no species ever come to an extinct.
Also, Malawi government has actually put a number of initiatives in places to manage the resource. Indeed, it's true that Lake Malawi is the treasure, or one of the lakes that has got the highest biodiversity, freshwater biodiversity in the world. In order to manage this resource, the government have put a number of measures, such as policy frameworks, strategic plans. Also, the government has put management plans to manage the resource. In addition to that, the government has actually initiated what is called the co-management, that is involving the community in managing the resource. Even the government is also doing enforcement, that is patrolling the water bodies. Of recent, the government has actually purchased 2 patrol boats just to ensure that the regulations and laws are actually obeyed on the lake.
That is good news about overfishing. But there is another challenge, minor though, bilharzia. There are still pockets of the disease in the lake, including the tourist site of Cape Maclear. There was no such disease in this part of the beautiful lake, but its emergence about 2 decades ago threatens the lives of people and particularly the flow of tourists, endangering the tourism industry. Lake Malawi has no cases of bilharzia until when the plankton, a fish species that eats up snails carrying bilharzia parasites, were almost wiped out of the lake. This curious sailor at Cape Maclear testifies the presence of bilharzia. Bilharzia, he says, has been common here, especially among the young people. In the last few years, occurrences have come down. Very few people now complain of the disease. There have been organizations working here promoting good health practices. Probably that could have been the reason causing the decline in the prevalence of bilharzia here. This private clinic at Cape Maclear records at least 8% of new patients with bilharzia every 3 months. Dr. Jeanette Van Oos says many come with symptoms of bilharzia, such as blood in the urine, saying that when they are put on treatment, they get better.
We record cases of bilharzia on symptoms, so if people come with blood in their urine, they are treated for bilharzia. So that's, we don't test everyone for bilharzia because we don't have the facilities to do that. And most of the time it is bilharzia, and people get better quickly when they take the treatment.
The decline in bilharzia at Cape Maclear and other fishing areas such as Nsaka and Mvunguti has been efforts by various organizations, one of which is HEAL, the Health, Education, Environment and Economic Development. The program engages the community, especially youth, to appreciate the lake. HEAL Malawi, an organization set up by Professor Ken McKay around Cape Maclear, identifies snails that carry parasites on the shores of the lake. This exercise helps to locate areas around Lake Malawi National Park which are vulnerable to bilharzia. The youth are therefore taught snorkeling. As part of an awareness to ensure that the people around this community know exactly what type of species are found in this lake, these young people are here to learn snorkeling, and that's exactly finding out what type of species are in the lake. And as they do, I join them to snorkel. What an exciting experience to see the fish underwater. And it's really been very interesting. And one of the people who is working so hard to ensure that the people around this community are aware of the species that are found here, and again, doing a study about bilharzia, is Professor Ken McKay. Well, let me help him.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
all right. This is too heavy.
Ah.
How did you manage it inside there?
Because when you're underwater,
Yeah.
it's neutrally buoyant and has no weight.
Oh, is it? Okay, you can come close here.
I'll do that. I have to
Okay.
walk backwards because
Yeah.
I have these fins on.
Oh, yeah, these fins. Okay. Yeah, Professor McKay, can you tell me exactly what you do here around Cape Maclear?
Well, right now, what we're trying to do is educate the children on what is one of the most spectacular underwater places in the world. In Lake Malawi, you've got over 1,000 species of fish.
Yeah.
It's of great interest to scientists. It's an important food source to you. And by protecting the fish, you can also reduce the human disease bilharzia because they'll eat the snails. So this is the future of Malawi, and we're hoping to train them and educate them about this wonderful underwater resource that you've just seen. Most Malawians don't know about it because they haven't put their head underwater the way you do.
Yeah, but the next question is, why don't we involve these young people around the Cape Maclear? Why do you want to engage them?
Because they're the ones who are going to be able to educate their parents. They're the future of Malawi. If they understand the important natural resource here, they'll want to preserve it. Most people know about your elephants, most people know about rhinoceroses, but the most famous thing here in Malawi are your fishes.
Cape Maclear is no ordinary sport. It attracts a lot of tourists. The place is beautiful. Beautiful shores, beautiful waters, beautiful, beautiful, oh my, beautiful. However, the growing population around Chembe Village, Nsaka and other fishing grounds around here is a challenge to the environment. Pressure is exerted on natural resources, particularly on the evergreen forests. This is what human activity is bringing to the lake. Trees are cut, but people are not planting more than they are cutting. Harmful fires are common in the dry season. Sanitation is also a problem. Hundreds of thousands of people who live here have no proper sanitation facilities. As a result, refuse disposal is not managed properly. Some use the lake for disposal. That too poses a huge threat on the very people living here, including children and fishermen. They use the water for domestic purposes, and waterborne diseases cannot be ruled out here. Even so, aquatic life may be under threat. The fish cannot survive this kind of environmental mismanagement. The good news is that people are aware of what they are supposed to do and not do. The challenge is for them to balance between their survival and the survival of the lake, which is in most senses the source of their survival too.